We put a team together in the fall, and that team within Connected DMV then began to put the strategy plan and strategy phase together for this pandemic center. And that formally launched in January. In January, we launched the steering committee as well. County executive serves on that steering committee along with other key regional leaders, but it also includes top scientists from around the world, from government, from academia, from industry, coming together to try to solve this problem of future pandemics. As part of that body of work, we'll be soon initiating the site selection requirements and the overall requirements for the facility itself. That work is still in front of us, and your funding certainly helps us to do that body of work. The intent from the team is to be able to formally launch the new organization for the Pandemic Prevention and Biodefense Center at the end of the summer, at the end of August. This is the moonshot for how we can get in front of and prevent future pandemics from happening. And AHEAD 100 stands for the development of human monoclonal antibodies for the top 100 pathogens in the world. As you know, there are countless pathogens out there, many, 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 and the scientific community tracks these and studies these and comes up with solutions for them. We've got the scientific community together agreeing on what that top 100 list is right now, and that's happening through the steering committee. And so that top 100 that this initiative would address, AHEAD 100 within the Pandemic Prevention Center, will create what we call a critical medical countermeasure that can be deployed when an outbreak occurs. So when an outbreak occurs, basically what happens is the scientific and medical community come together to get solutions in place to help deal with that outbreak. But those first, call it 30 days, 100 days, 12 months, whatever it might be, before vaccines are effective and available, there's a gap, and that gap can be filled if we have monoclonal antibodies on standby. So we're working to develop a stockpile of those antibodies so that when an outbreak occurs, we can immediately protect healthcare workers, we can immediately protect the surrounding community from the outbreak, and even therapeutically, antibodies have the ability to cure someone that's been affected. So we need to create that critical national stockpile or global stockpile of antibodies so that we can fill that gap in the chain so that a solution can be available on day one when an outbreak occurs. When we do that, that will stop the outbreak cold in its tracks. That is the premise and the foundation on which we're working, and prevent a pandemic from ever occurring. So if we think about the ability, we think about the 3+ million lives already lost, and we think about the ability to prevent the tens of trillions of dollars in economic harm, this $2.5 billion project, we believe is a very responsible and extremely economic way to address that risk. So that's the Pandemic Center, very briefly. It's also the launch initiative, AHEAD 100, with the monoclonal antibodies. And that's the moonshot. That's why we're together. That's why Montgomery County sits at the heart of this with the best assets, capabilities, talent in the world, leveraged with our broader global network. As you look at the Biden administration's announcements, their support for these medical countermeasures is well articulated. They're wholly supportive of solutions like this. So we're in the process of working with the large philanthropic community as well as the federal government to determine the right balance between the federal government and governments, and as well as the large philanthropic community in supporting an initiative such as this. We believe Congress will be wholly supportive, especially in light of what we've all just experienced with COVID-19.